We got a 16-game slate, and it's Dinger Tuesday. Let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're back to talk some more Seam. Yesterday, 3-2 day, and you guys already know I went off on X on Discord. It was a 4-1 day. Miami was an atrocious defense with error after wild pitch to barely lose that under. But we'll go over the recap in just a little bit. As you guys know, it's Dinger Tuesday. So if you want a chance to win 2 free months of OUTLIER, leave a comment below with your favorite home run prop. You must leave the odds and the sports books that you find it, or sports book that you find it. The higher odds will win. If we have a tie in the odds, the longest home run hit takes it. Tie in the same player, then it will just be a tie. So, quick announcement, website is officially live, as you guys know, justabetoutside.com. We put a lot of work into this. You can join for free, and you can go check out the community tab. You'll have all the people that you follow. You can see their bets and everything like that. If you want to use the premium betting tool, though, and also see odds across 250 or more sports books, all the different sports you could imagine, it really helps you in one area to just find, here's all the odds for all the books that I use. And then also there's a lot more. There's instant feedback results. How am I doing on bets, between minus 119 and minus 130, or what sports book am I best at? And then also they got tax prep help. I mean, there's a lot to it. You can get access to articles, betting contests coming soon, much more. If you want to do all that and you want 1 free month, use the coupon code JABOLAUNCH. That's JABOLAUNCH. The link is below in the description. So let's get into it. And that means I got a dad joke. So here we go. I always wondered what my mom and dad did to fight boredom before the internet. I asked my 18 brothers and sisters, and they didn't know either. In this video, we're going to recap yesterday, and then we're going to go over the good and bad hitter matchups, and then the best pitcher strikeout matchups. It's the most we've had all year. We got 6 good pitcher strikeout matchups, and then we'll give you the full 16-game pitcher report, and we'll finish it with the best bets and the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Come join this awesome community as we're about to start NFL season as well. We got an NFL futures video, Super Bowl predictions, all that coming out later this week as well. So let's get it rolling, and that means it's recap time. All right, there it is, the 3-2 night, and we're going to start off with one of the bets that will haunt me when the end of the season hits. Under 4.5 in the first 5 innings. If you guys just saw the box score, you're thinking, oh, it's 3-2. This guy lost. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It was 2-0 going into the top of the 5th. Here's what happened in the top of the 5th. 2 errors. Not only that, both errors were double play balls. At least potential double play balls. One of them, the second baseman, easiest play I've ever seen, just bobbled it. It's his first MLB game he's ever played. Then the first baseman had to go off his glove. And then also on top of that, how about a couple wild pitches? I mean, they barely did anything. On top of that, 2 walks. So 2 errors, 2 walks, 2 wild pitches, and they barely go over with the sac fly. And there it is, 3-2 in the 5th. Just absolutely heartbreaking. To me, that is, I made 4 out of 5 really good reads today. So I mean, that's all I can do really. I mean, no one anticipates, error after walk after, wild pitch. So it happens, but it's frustrating. I'll tell you that. You guys, I'm sure, have a ton of losses this year that are frustrating like that. I just get a vent about it. But the next one, Rockies plus the field goal. I didn't need the field goal. You take the field goal because they win it outright, baby. That's right. If you had Rockies money line, congratulations. That is a nice win. Michael Harris, Julio, 1+ hit each. In the middle of that debacle of the top of the 5th in Miami, these guys got a hit in their first at-bat. That was nice to see. Kevin Gausman over 17.5 outs, my worst read of the day. He struggled. He only gave up, I think, 2 earned runs. But if you watch the game, it was just long at-bat after long at-bat. That pitch count just skyrocketed. Just didn't pitch really sharp. He wasn't hitting corners. When he missed by a lot. And we had a lot of 2-2, 3-2 counts, foul balls. Anyways, and then I added a play that I wanted to dip my toes in. And guess what? It was a good dip. Alt walks parlay. Leiter, 2+ walks. Easily got that done. Strider, 1+ walk. Was a little bit sweatier. I think on his last inning pitch, he gave me 1 walk. And then Brady Singer, 1+ walk. Got it done, I think, in the first inning there. So, again, this is something I might try to, look into. I haven't been successful at walk props, but maybe the alt lines will be better. We'll see. But anyways, that's what we got for the recap for Monday. And now let's talk the hitter matchups. All right, we got 18 good hitter matchups for you today, starting with Brian Hayes up there. But we got Francisco Lindor, 6 for 16. Freddie Freeman, 6 for 16 with a couple ding-dongs off of Austin Gomber. Shohei Ohtani, a couple ding-dongs off Gomber as well. He is kind of batting practice. Rojas down there, 4 for 12 off Gomber. Over there on the right side, you see Altuve versus Skubal. There is some potential rain in that game, but that's a great pitching matchup there in Detroit. James Wood has just been atrocious in the second half of the year. He is 3 for 10 off Peterson, though. And they got Mookie Betts off Gomber, 4 for 9. Jung-Hoo Lee off of Pavetta. Aaron Judge, 3 for 8 advance. Shane Baz, Pena, so on and so on. So that's what we got for the good hitter matchups. Take a screenshot. Now let's check out page 2 on the bad hitter matchups. Some big names here. C.J. Abrams, 3 for 17 against David Peterson. Pete Alonso, 2 for 15 with 5 Ks off of Jake Irvin. And then, as you see there over there on the right side, Carlos Correa, 1 for 13 with 6 Ks off Tariq Skubal. Not a big surprise there. And then Stephen Kwan, 1 for 10 with 2 Ks off of Eduardo Rodriguez. And by the way, up there on the upper left, you see a pair of Pirates against Max Scherzer. Again, Scherzer's pitching pretty decent. But again, when you see career numbers against Scherzer, you think, well, he probably faced him a lot in his prime, and he was almost unhittable. But McCutchen, 8 for 41 with 17 Ks off of Scherzer. So that's what we got for the hitter matchups. Now let's talk some Ks. All right, let's get it started. We got 6 of these bad boys today. The first one, Hunter Brown is out of town at the Tigers. Detroit, 5th highest K rate versus righties, 24.2. You see Brown's numbers there. I'll try to be a little quicker here because we got 6, but Ks have been down a bit. So just keep that in mind. Almost 34% in June, 27% in July, only 20% in August so far. Slightly lower K rate on the road, a little bit higher K rate versus lefties. And then on the other side in the same game, Tariq Skubal versus Astros. Again, this is a game I would check some weather, though, if you are going to bet it. I believe I saw some rain. But Houston, 5th highest K rate versus lefties, which is a little surprising. But Skubal, we know what he can do. He is coming off his worst start of the year, still has 7+ Ks in 6 of his last 9, even with some struggles lately. But K rate at home, I mean, they're both over 30%, so I don't know if it really matters. But higher K rate versus righties, 33.4 compared to 29.9 against lefties. So that's page 1. Let's check out the second 2. And we got Edward Scissorhands Cabrera versus the Cardinals. Cardinals, how about second highest K rate versus righties last 3 weeks, 26.7. You see Cabrera there, more than 1 K an inning. He's had 6+ Ks now in 7 of his last 9, and he's looking good in August. How about a 32% K rate? Very similar home road splits there, and not much difference on righties and lefties. He did just face the Cardinals, though, on July 28th in St. Louis, and did have only 4 Ks in 6 innings. So just want to point that out. And then the lefty, Christopher Sanchez versus my Seattle Mariners, who are deciding not to win in the last few days all of a sudden. But Sanchez, the Mariners, 4th highest K rate versus lefties last 3 weeks. Sanchez, as you see there, more than 1 K per inning. He's a guy who's been consistent, one of the best pitchers in the major leagues this year, but 6+ Ks now in 7 of his last 9, higher K rate at home by 5% or a little over 5%, and then very similar K rate splits for righty-lefty. Now, let's check out the final 2, and we got Carlos Rodon versus the Tampa Bay Rays. I almost call them the Devil Rays. Anyways, Rays, how about just the highest K rate versus lefties in the entire major leagues at almost 30%? Rodon, you know he can miss some bats, but he has been all over the place a little bit lately. Last 5 starts, 5-3, 9, 8, and 4. 17 walks in there as well, and that's the big reason. If he has his command, he can miss some bats and strike out a lot of guys, but 17 walks is just not exactly ideal in 5 starts. Very similar home road K splits, higher K rate versus lefties, 32-3, 26-2 righties. He did face the Rays back on April 18th. How much does that mean to you? Way back in April, but he did have 9 Ks in 6 innings. Now, the final one, Hunter Green at the Angels. So both of these, as you can see, are against the highest K rate team against a righty or lefty. The Angels' highest K rate versus righties at almost 29%. Green in limited time, 79 Ks in 65.2 innings. 6 Ks in 6 innings in his first start back, just like 5 days ago. And that was against Philly, second start since June 3rd. So obviously, and by the way, it doesn't look like he's on a pitch count or anything. They made sure to get him fully ready when he came back, but we know he is as good as it gets. Lower K rate on the road, 26.2 compared to at home, 33.8%. Obviously, he's on the road here. Slightly higher K rate versus lefties, 31.6 compared to 29.5 versus righties. So that's what we got for all 6 pitcher strikeout matchups. Now let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, we got 16 matchups for you today. Here are the first 8. All the averages are on the bottom, as you guys know. But just try to save you as much time as possible and give you as much info as we can every single day. We start out with the pitching matchup of the day. Hopefully weather doesn't ruin it. Hunter Brown versus Tariq Skubal. Brown pitching solid lately. He's been in a little mid-season slump there for a while compared to what he was at the beginning of the year. But he has just given up 5 earned runs in his last 24 innings. Skubal, inexplicably, great word, huh? Giving up 3+ earned runs in 3 straight starts. He also just had 3 Ks in his last start against Minnesota in 7 innings. Max Scherzer versus Mitch Keller. Scherzer giving up just 4 earned runs in his last 19 innings with also just 13 strikeouts. Not missing a ton of bats lately, but, limiting some runs. Mitch Keller got rocked at Milwaukee last start. At this point, it's like, who doesn't? So take that for what it is. But having a pretty solid season. McGreevy, the rookie against Cabrera. McGreevy, how about going 6+ innings now in 4 of his last 5? Starting to pitch well. Cabrera struggled last start, giving up 5 earned runs at Cleveland. Other than that, he was solid the 4 starts prior. He's been one of those good young pitchers for Miami. And then David Peterson versus Jake Irvin. Peterson, after 5 straight solid starts, he's now given up 10 hits and 10 earned runs in his last 9.1 innings. Usually a guy who's a little bit better at home. And then Jake Irvin struggled all season, and he's also struggled lately. 14 earned runs in his last 13.1 innings. He's just not very good, as you guys know. And then Bryce Miller makes his return for the Mariners. First start since June 6th. He was struggling before the IL trip. He was having a lot of injury issues, and so we'll see. Maybe he comes back. He looked pretty good in rehab starts. Christopher Sanchez has been awesome this year. He is coming off a start where he allowed 3 earned runs at Cincy, which is a bad start for Sanchez, but he's been awesome. Sugano versus Ferris Bueller. Sugano put together back-to-back solid starts somehow with just 2 earned runs allowed and 8 hits in 12.1 innings. And then Ferris Bueller giving up 3+ earned runs in 3 of his last 4. He's just not very good, as you guys know. I mean, a 16% K rate, 10.3% walk rate, over a 5 ERA. It's just none of the numbers are good. He also has just 11 strikeouts in his last 21 innings. And then Shane Smith versus Bryce Elder. Smith gone 5 innings or less now in 8 straight starts. They are limiting the rookie's innings. And then Elder, you know what he did to me. I needed 3 runs for the Mets. It didn't get it done, but he has surprisingly now gone 6+ innings in 3 straight starts, even though he did still give up 9 earned runs in those 19.2 innings. And then Carlos Rodon versus Shane Baz. Rodon coming off a 1-hit, 1 earned run start versus Minnesota last time out. And Baz giving up 4+ earned runs in 3 straight. It has not been pretty. Sometimes when he struggles, it gets pretty ugly. But in those 3 starts, he's one of those guys. He can give up a lot of runs, but he also had 8, 9, and 7 strikeouts in the last 3 starts. So that's what we got for page 1. Now let's check out page 2, and we start with Merrill Kelly versus Seth Lugo. Kelly, been a little bit shaky for Texas. Still pretty good, but last 3 starts, giving up 8 earned runs and 16 hits in 16 innings. And then Lugo, he got his money, and he's been miserable. He's given up 13 earned runs and 15 hits in his last 8 innings. That was versus the Nationals and at the Twins. So take that for what it is. Jacob Lopez, the lefty, been one of the best starting pitchers in the majors last 4 starts. If you guys remember, he had a stretch earlier this year where he was absolutely dominant. He's on another stretch like that. How about 24 consecutive scoreless innings with 19 strikeouts in the last 14.2 innings? And then the man with 2 first names continues his solid season, giving up just 4 earned runs on 13 hits and 17.2 innings in August. And then Ed Sheeran versus Gomber. Sheeran got hit for 5 earned runs in 5 innings last time at the Angels. Overall, he's been pretty decent. And then Gomber just continuing to get shelled. I think it's in his contract. In his last 5 starts, giving up 23 earned runs and 34 hits in 26 innings. And then we got Hunter Green, who we talked a little bit about. Just allowed 3 hits, 0 earned runs in Philly. Had a really good first start back. Going up against Kyle Hendricks. An older veteran, doesn't miss many bats at all, doesn't throw very fast, only made it 3.1 innings last start, giving up 5 earned runs to the Dodgers. Before that, he was okay. I'll say that. But Tanner Bybee versus the lefty, Eduardo Rodriguez. Bybee been a rough time lately for him, giving up 3+ earned runs in 4 of his last 5 starts. And then Eduardo Rodriguez, I had the Rockies, if you remember that one. I don't remember how I bet it exactly, but I think it was Eduardo Rodriguez under outs, and he threw an absolute gem at Coors Field in his last start. Other than that, it's been pretty bad for him. And then Tang for the Giants against Nick Pivetta. Tang had a terrible start last game where he didn't even make it out of the second inning, gave up 6 earned runs on 4 hits and 4 walks. This is going to be just his 4th start. You see that nice 9.9 ERA. And then Nick Pivetta for the Fathers. Been awesome the last 6 weeks. Just 1 bad start versus Boston, but he's had a great season, obviously. And then Chad Patrick of the Brewers. This is, by the way, these last 2 are the doubleheader because one of those doubleheaders got canceled yesterday. So we're back at it here. So Patrick versus Boyd. Patrick, first start back since July 5th. He was inconsistent, but still decent. You see a 3.5 ERA, above average K rate. He still was pretty solid for them. With the way this offense is hitting, it's kind of all you need to be. But Matthew Boyd having a great season. Been giving up a few more runs lately, though. 10 earned runs in his last 4 starts. That's including one of those 4 starts being a shutout. So then the last one, Brandon Woodruff versus Jameson Taillon. If you guys remember, Woodruff got taken out super early last start, and as far as I know, is for no reason other than to save him. but he got pulled out of 65 pitches when they were up by 4 or 5 or 6 runs or something. He's given up 2 or less earned runs now in all 7 starts. And then Jameson Taillon, another guy making his first start back since June 29th on a bit of a pitch count here. He did struggle before the IL stint, so we'll see what we get from Mr. Taillon. So now, that's what we got for the entire pitcher report and all the research help. Now it is time for the best bets. All right, this first one takes us out to the land of the tiny beverages, where the Minnesota Twins host the just the A's. Sorry. Twins moneyline minus 156, A's moneyline plus 132 with a total of 8.5 runs. This is my underdog play of the day. I do not understand this line. Give me the A's on the moneyline plus 132 on FanDuel. It's going to be a half unit play for me here. What are we doing with the Twins at almost minus 160 as a favorite versus a good starting pitcher? Let's talk about it. The lefty Jacob Lopez faces Joe Ryan. So Lopez, A's are actually 8-2 in Lopez's last 10 starts. That's how good he's been, how good they've been with him. They've actually won by 2+ runs in 7 of those 8 wins as well. And he's been unreal lately. Like I mentioned earlier, pitched 24 consecutive scoreless innings, just really limiting hard contact. If you look at his baseball savant page, it looks good. 80th percentile or better in the following: average exit velocity, K rate, hard hit rate, barrel rate. It's just hard to hit him hard. It's hard to hit him hard. You got that? Okay, cool. Good analysis. I expect him to hold the Twins offense down here, though. And then Joe Ryan. I'm not going to sit here and say he's bad. I mean, he's been solid all year. He's usually good for 5 to 6 innings, allowing, 1, 2, maybe 3 earned runs. But he already faced the A's this season, also gave up 4 earned runs to them on 6 hits. But let's talk about the offenses. A's have power. I mean, they do, and they have been really good on the road. In their last 10 road games, how about averaging 7.1 runs per game? It's weird that when they get out of the minor league park, but they have been hitting it well. They have a ton of power. They got Soderstrom, Langeliers, Kurtz. All these guys are swinging it really well. And the Twins on the other side struggle versus lefties. 3rd lowest WRC+, 4th lowest batting average. Just barely have gotten to many lefty starters lately. And again, this is a shell of their offense. And I just think the A's have an advantage there. And I don't really think the Twins have that big of an advantage as starting pitcher. And then you go to the bullpen. A's have actually been decent since the All-Star break. I know it's crazy they traded away Mason Miller and all that. And the Twins they've not been good. I mean, that's not a surprise. You get rid of Griffin Jacks, Duran, all these guys gutted their bullpen. So overall, I think this should be a pick 'em. Let's be honest with you. I don't know why it's minus 156 for the Twins. I expect that to change overnight and throughout the day before the game starts. A's on the road are respectable 30-33 as well this year. So I'm going to ride the hot Jacob Lopez and these solid bats at a nice solid price here. So give me the A's on the money line as my first best bet. All right, after a long break between the games, because Ryan just wanted to let me know that I just said I was going to ride the hot Jacob Lopez. Just another quote that I like to just give out every night, I guess. But either way, we're going to get to bet number 2. I'm going to try to talk normal. The Rays hosting the New York Yankees. Yanks on the money line, minus 144. Rays money line, plus 118 with a total of 8.5 runs. I got a player prop. Give me Shane Baz. Over 2.5 earned runs allowed at minus 120 on DraftKings. This is a half unit play for me here. Let's talk Mr. Baz first. He's given up 3+ earned runs in 7 of his last 10 starts. He's given up 3.5 earned runs per game in the last 10. As you can see by this outlier screenshot, he's now given up 3+ earned runs in 8 of his last 9 road games. It just has not been pretty for him. Speaking of at home, holy smokes. How about a 6.54 ERA at home? 274 average against, a high 1.50 whip. Even though he has pitched 8 less innings at home, he has given up 13 of his 21 home runs this year in this minor league park. He also has 2 walks in 7 straight starts. Yankees offense starting to heat up a little bit. Scored 20 runs in their last 2 games. Let me say that again in English. 20 runs in their last 2 games. 6+ runs now in 4 of their last 6. Judge is finally starting to look better. Their offense is just starting to come around. We knew it was going to happen at some point. They also saw Chris Baz. I don't know who that is. Shane Baz on April 19th. Again, a long time ago, but they scored 5 earned runs off of him in this ballpark. Their team total is set at 2.5 in just the first 5 innings for a reason. I think we're going to see a home run or 2 off of Shane Baz to add to his 21 home runs allowed already this season. Weather in the minor league park, 90 degrees at first pitch. I like it. So give me Shane Baz over 2.5 earned runs. That is my second and final best bet. It was a busy night. We had some technical issues, started late with some family stuff, so it's just going to be 2 best bets. Not all the pitcher props are out yet. Still looking through some of those K props, and also I might have another alt line walks parlay like we just had, maybe a hitter prop parlay as well. So stay tuned for or be sure to check the pinned comments below, X, Discord, the website, all that, because there will definitely be some added plays. But that's what I got for you today. Before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. My first 2 best bets so far. We got the A's on the money line as an underdog, plus 132 on FanDuel for half unit, and Shane Baz over 2.5 earned runs allowed, minus 120 on DK for a half unit. Thank you guys for watching. As always, really appreciate the support. Be sure to leave that Dinger Tuesday bet down below with the odds and the sports book to have a chance to win. But hope you guys have a great Tuesday, and we'll talk to you soon.